Welcome to Beyond the Code, the podcast where industry experts and brilliant legal minds discuss the impact of new emerging technologies. I'm your host, Yitzy, a lawyer and tech enthusiast. Join us as we explore the legal, regulatory, and ethical issues surrounding AI, blockchain, and more. Get ready to go beyond the code and stay ahead of the game. And we're on the air. Teresa, welcome to Beyond the Code. This is super, super exciting. We've known each other, been working together for the last almost a year now. And it's good to finally have an opportunity to bring you up onto the podcast and to hear a little bit more about you and your journey into crypto and your very, very unique and valuable practice as a Panamanian lawyer. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Of course. Well, thank you for the intro and thank you for inviting me, Yitzy. It's a pleasure. Well, so a little bit about myself. Well, my name is Teresa Carballo. I'm a Panamanian lawyer. I'm a mother of two girls. And yeah, I do what I do in my daily job. It's just working with crypto projects. And I've been doing that for maybe, I was working with certain technology companies before, but for crypto, and maybe it started almost 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And now I can say maybe 95% of our clients are crypto related. So that's super exciting.
Yeah, I mean, you market your practice as a crypto practice.
Yes, that was actually when I started doing that, I was okay, because not all of our clients were crypto at that point. I was. You
thought it would be insulting to some of them?
No, well, actually that's a topic we're actually right now talking in the firm, because we don't know if we want to market it as fully crypto. Mm-hmm. But no, at that moment, because what does a crypto lawyer do? Just because you have crypto clients, are you supposed to be a crypto lawyer? So I was just very I don't know, should address it that way? But it didn't make sense because I was fully immersed in crypto.
And how did that happen?
Life.
How did you fall into crypto? You were immersed in it in a non-legal capacity initially.
Yes.
How did that in what capacity?
The first I used to work when I was back in university. I used to work in an investment firm, but it was mm-hmm. completely related to gold and silver. So it was a bullion storage company. So I was doing there some back office, some compliance. I was an analyst. How do you call that in English? An analyst from the superintendent of of that. I was licensed basically superintendent of security market on that area and all of that.
Very cool. Mm-hmm.
And it was super interesting. And then my bosses, they were from Australia and New Zealand, and they were oh, so we've been super interested in Bitcoin. And I was oh, what's that? So I started hearing about that, and I was super interested. And then I was okay, whatever. So that didn't end up being part of my life at that mm-hmm. stage. And then a few years ago, I started listening. There was going to be a legislation in Panama on crypto, maybe 3.5 years ago or 4 years ago. And I was oh, I remember this interests me. And I was just reviewing it, and I was oh, okay, so now I want Bitcoin or crypto, but I don't want to pay for it. I want to get paid in crypto. So at that moment, I was just doing, I was back in the compliance side. I was doing litigation for a while. I was working for a law firm that did litigation. And mm-hmm. at that stage, I was doing compliance. And I started a course on compliance, and it included crypto related things. And I was this is super cool. But then I was maybe, I didn't think lawyers had a place in Web3. And I think at that stage, maybe 3.5, 4 years ago, it was lawyers were at the bottom of the pyramid. No one would care about lawyers. Well, in Latin America at least. And I started doing other things, more related to communities. And we found that in Latam, these communities were HerdDAO Latam. Well, we dissolved it maybe 2 months ago. And this words,
HerdDAO Latam.
Latam. Mm-hmm. It's
But
like
like
a sub
her
DAO.
DAO, like as if her
Yes, it
DAO.
was like a
Okay,
sub
cool.
DAO of her
Mm-hmm.
DAO. So like we started like building that. So like it was like a super cool period. Well, a very long period, but it was like super cool. And we did have like a lot of hacker houses. So like we gave scholarship to women in Latin America to like attend hacker houses. And like we had like maybe like 4 hacker houses or 5 for different events.
Okay, cool.
And just like a lot of like events and like a lot of like, I don't know, like partnerships. So like I got to like know a lot of like the community, like of the Web3 community because of that role. So it was like super exciting. And yeah, so I was like more in like in the, I mean like in the community side and like the building things for good side. So it's pretty cool.
And so then you decided, okay, I'm gonna start a practice that focuses only on this.
Well, no, like I started like getting clients, like mostly for like not like things like more basic, like trademark registry and all of that. Like I was like doing trademark and trademark litigation. And I was like I got some clients and that end, like some clients who wanted to like incorporate and things like that. And like it slowly like went focusing into Web3. So it was like pretty cool. And then I was like, okay, so like there's a legal area that it's like, I mean, like that it's really huge. Like the first time I saw a lawyer in Web3 was this girl. She's from Argentina. She's like amazing. You should like invite her to the podcast because she's just amazing.
Okay,
Her name
cool.
is
What's her name?
Fortunata.
Okay.
And then like there was like this community who was like very popular amongst women on Web3. It was called Source. And then I started like doing some like articles and translations from Source to Spanish. And I saw this woman who was like very active and she was a lawyer. And I don't remember for which company she worked, but she was like, she did something like regarding tokenization of wine or something like that. It was like super interesting.
Cool.
And I was like, okay, so like lawyers actually have a place in Web3. Like that's super cool. So I started just like getting more involved with like different communities. I started like I was like the first DAO, I was a contributor. Like this was like away from like my practice. Like I was practicing law in different areas, not necessarily to crypto projects. But I started like volunteering. Well, like not volunteer because like they paid you. I was there like contributing to DAO. So like I contributed to like the legal area of token engineering commons for a little bit. Then to other ones, like I don't remember, like there were a couple of them. It was like ages ago now, I don't think so. And then I started in the Bangladesh Style Legal Guild. And I was like maybe for a year, I was like the coordinator of the Bangladesh Style Legal Guild. So like
What year is this?
Meet there. Maybe like 2.5 years
okay.
ago. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been, like time. It's like I measure time like from the birth of my youngest daughter because I remember I started there like before I was pregnant and like she's 1 and like almost 1.5 years.
Okay.
So like that's how I measure time like with the ages of my both daughters. So yeah, so like I started like being the coordinator of the legal. Like started like as the project manager for the legal guild. And then I was the coordinator for 2 seasons. So I was like just like almost 2 years like with the Bangladesh Legal Guild. And it was super cool. It was like life-changing because like most of the people I met there, I work with them right now. Like I set up foundations and corporations for them, independent inside now. And they're all amazing. And I got to meet like a lot of like amazing lawyers. And like when I started there, I was like, oh, so like he's like super cool. And now it's just like people I talk to every single day because I work with them.
And then how did you meet up with Rebecca?
Rebecca, well, like in the firm.
Is it just you two?
Like 3 partners.
Oh, 3 partners. Okay.
No, yes. Like it's me, Rebecca, and Edgar. And Edgar, like actually we just formalized it in a public deed like yesterday.
Congratulations.
Like, it hasn't been, yes. But like we've been working together for a while now. So like Becky and I, that's Rebecca, we were like together at university.
Okay.
And we were like super close. She's like the godmother of my youngest daughter. So we're like super, super close. I mean, that's good and bad because like it caused like a lot of friction because like we try to like keep like the messages different because like this is for friendship, this is for like work. but like it gets messed
That's
up.
healthy though.
And at the end of the day, yes, but like we have had our discussions because she says I'm like too intense, and yes, I am. I'm super intense. And then Edgar, I actually met Edgar. I had met Edgar at university. Like we were like he was like 1 year older than us. But like I mean like we were like in different political groups in university, so like we never like got to like interact that much. And then Edgar, I met Edgar back because like I was in this law group that Eagle created. It's called like Blockchain Lawyers Group. And then I'm from Panama. And then someone else from Panama came along, and I went to like the initial interview. Just like I remember Eagle asked me like, "Hey, can you join?" Because like he's from Panama. Maybe you like kind of like say like something about him. And I did. I was like, Edgar, we knew each other since before. So it was like super exciting. So like instead of like competing with each other, we realized it would be like better if we like add up and just like have like certain clients together. And now he joined, like he had a different law firm, and now he joined Pacifica Legal. So it's super cool.
All right. And we met actually because I was desperate to find a competent Panamanian lawyer. I had a previous very poor experience working with somebody else and desperately wrote in this Web3 lawyers group that I'm part of. Does anybody know a good Panamanian lawyer? I need somebody like right now. And Jessica McDonald right away wrote to me, "You need to meet Teresa. She's amazing." And I think like already that night we had a Zoom call, which is another awesome thing about you, that you're like always available. I don't know like when you sleep. That's another thing I want. Like, I'd be curious to know what it's like running your own legal practice as a mother of two. I'm a father of four, so I know it's not easy. But I'd be curious to hear your
You duplicate the kids in the house. Yeah, you're doubled. No, I mean like for me it's fun. I mean like this is what I do for fun. Like for fun, for example, like right now, like I do work in crypto, but like my fun thing to do, like which is not work, but it's fun. I'm like the code of conduct lead for the Optimism Collective. And I do like things like governance things. So like that's what I do for fun. I still do for fun things that are crypto. So I mean like I was doing litigation before. So this is like super like fun and easy to do for me because it's like I mean like I get to like I'm a very curious person. So like for example, like right now I'm doing some work for you at this moment, like before we had the call, and I'm gonna finish later. So don't worry about that. It's gonna be done. But it's just fun because like I get to like understand about new projects in Web3. Like I see their YouTube videos like to like understand better like the talks they're having the in technology they're developing. So it's just fun for me to like keep my mind entertained and just like work the whole day. And regarding my kids, I just have like a very supporting husband. I mean, he's amazing. And like he's very I mean, like he doesn't even own a computer. Like he works from his phone, and like he has like a very traditional business. He does like he has like a series of, how do you call that? Of tiendas de ropa, like retail clothes. Like he sells clothes.
Okay, cool. His own brand?
Like, yes. No, it's like how do you call that? Like stores. He has stores.
Yeah.
He has like 6, 7 stores.
Retail stores.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
And like he has like a fabric of how do you call that?
Manufacturing?
Meat. Yeah, well, he also has a manufacturing. Well, that's more into his mother's side. But like they also have like this, they fabricate clothes. How do you say that? Manufacture. Yes,
not fabricate.
Like t-shirts. Well, manufacturer. And like no, but he also like has this other hobby business. It's like a business, but it's like his hobby. Like his hobby is to work as well, so it's fine.
I love that your hobby is to work.
Makes meat. Yes, like he makes meat, like and sells it to like restaurants.
That's awesome.
Like something he started in the pandemic, so it's just like fun stuff. But he's like super flexible. Like he has like a lot of employees. So like he can't just like delegate. It's easier to delegate when you're like a business owner than when you're a lawyer and like you work with your mind. But like he just like delegates a lot. and then I do have to like travel quite often, or like at least like much more than he does, because he hates traveling, and he stays with the kids, so it's amazing. So like I always have like his support. He knows like if I'm busy, like he has to like he's like more active with like different roles than I am, like with the house and with the employees in the house and all of
That's
that.
amazing. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so tell me just a little bit about Panamanian regulations vis-a-vis crypto. I mean, like I think been working with you for setting up, I think close to, if not more than 10 entities already for various clients, because we've identified together with you that Panama is an excellent jurisdiction to set up foundations or corporations, especially in the crypto industry. Why is it such an attractive jurisdiction?
Of course, on that end, in the beginning I did mention that there were like certain regulations that were gonna start
That's
regarding
right.
crypto that never went through. I mean, like that never proceeded. And like it was like vetoed by the president. It was then got it back to the National Assembly, that it was like declared anti-constitutional, and it was like a huge mess. So that didn't go through. So in Panama, we don't really have any sort of like actual regulation or like any law related to crypto. But for example, like our superintendents of security markets has declared in various opinions that since there's no legislation, they do not have any sort of competence over crypto. I mean, like we also cannot mix up things here. If something that is gonna be more on like the criminal side, like a scam, goes through in crypto, they will investigate it on the criminal side.
But
Like
not in the
that's
securities
general
laws.
knowledge.
Just some,
Yeah, it's like not in
of
the
course.
securities law, like not in the civil law. So it's like super complicated for us as well, because I mean, we do have a lot of regulations at resident agents. Like we do have to declare when we receive money, when it's like fiat, like over like a certain amount and all of that. But like when I ask in like the different um events that different superintendents do, like what happens with crypto, they're like, oh, we don't know. There's nothing we can tell you about it. So it's kind of
But it
like
sounds like not
we do.
only is there no regulation for crypto, there isn't going to be any regulation for the foreseeable future because the president actively shot down the regulation, right?
Yeah, I mean like I do foresee at certain point to have certain regulation, because like we just got out of the gray list of Gafi and also of the European Union. That was mostly because of the beneficial owner system that on corporations and foundations. But and like we know, like the recommendation 15 of the Gafi, it's regarding crypto. So like something will have to come up at a certain point. I just don't know when, and elections are in May, so I don't foresee it coming anytime soon. And another important part of that area is that even though we have like a very strong territoriality principle, and then the point with it is that if, for example, for tax purposes, if you don't produce that income in Panama, you don't have to pay taxes over that amount. Same rule applies for most businesses. So like you can have a Panamanian legal entity, a foundation or a corporation or any other, and if you're not based in Panama and offering those services in Panama,
and you're not generating any income in Panama from.
No, but not only that, you're not obliged to comply with the Panamanian regulations of different areas. So that's also super interesting, because like I know in that point we do defer to, for example, Cayman, where you do have to comply with local BAS regulations,
Regardless of whether you're serving
based in Cayman or not. Yes.
So that makes it extra attractive. Yeah, it's absolutely very interesting. And I always tell people, in addition to the regulatory regime in Panama, really the best thing about working with Panama is Teresa. And I'm not joking. I
Thank
literally
you. That's
say that to every
amazing.
client. It's been the most incredible experience just having somebody who's like available, competent, speaks excellent English, and just like a very, very pleasant person to work with. I very much enjoy working with you, and I know all my partners feel the same way. So, thank you. And
Oh, that's
um,
amazing.
and I really wish I had a Teresa in every jurisdiction.
Thank you. That's amazing. That's great promotion. Thank you.
Yeah. So what does the future hold for crypto, both on the legal side and a non-legal side? I mean, today is a crypto off day. The markets are kind of crashing. I mean, they're not crashing. Anybody who's been through a few bear markets and cycles knows that this is just natural. But you've been in the industry for some time. You've seen a winter already. Like, what are your thoughts?
I mean, to be quite honest, like I'm not that involved with like the fluctuations of tokens in
Mm-hmm.
crypto, of on that end. Like for me, like I'm very into like, okay, this is like maybe weird, not weird, but like this is what I like about crypto. It's about like the whole possibility of building new things. Like for me, it's all about like the technology, the things we can do with it, the transparency it brings. Like for me, like the best scenario in the crypto world is that in the blockchain world mostly, it's like if we could like incorporate all of these technologies to like local governments. Like for me, like that's the thing. Like I got into crypto because I wanted to like I want to have a better world to be quite honest. That sounds like how do you say that? Like
Yeah, yeah,
cheesy, but it's true. It's
yeah.
like I
So
mean like for
you're
me,
passionate about the technology.
yeah, I mean like for me like even though like when I was doing litigation, I was like focusing a lot on like gender-based violence and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I mean like when you go like to like the fiscalías and like ministerios públicos, like I don't know the prosecutor office,
Mm-hmm.
like who's gonna supposedly like investigate, you see a lot of like flaws. I mean, you see that the carpetas de investigación, like with the how do you, the investigative in,
Yeah.
how do you say that?
No,
Sorry.
I don't
Oh,
speak
is it
Spanish, so I
already
don't.
fluent in Spanish? No. Okay, so like when you're like investigating a crime,
Uh-huh.
you have to like gather all the information. So like the victim gathers information, the prosecutor gathers information, but like what happens in a lot of these cases is like if someone gives money or someone has a lot of influence, like they won't get through. Like I remember when I was like litigating, I will like present un escrito, like I will present like a paper, like a formal document
Mm-hmm.
that you request certain information to the public, to the not the public registry, to the prosecutor office, and then they will never answer. I mean, they were supposed to answer in a certain amount of time. They will never do. So I had to go to like the judge, the control judge, to just like ask him or like to put an amparo. It's like, sorry, like I don't know these terms in English.
It's fine. I
I'm
get
not
the
that
general
fluent.
idea.
Now you can tell my clients, you can tell your clients I'm not that fluent in English.
Um,
Okay, so like it's just like a mess. I mean, like, and if we were like doing this like with more technology, it would be like easier to like avoid
right. I'm not sure
corruption
that
and
the
like
reason that
increase
they're not sharing the
transparency.
information is because it's not easily accessible from a technology perspective. I think that there are other motives behind it. But I agree that to the extent that things are on chain, more people have access and there's more room for transparency and less room for corruption. So I could definitely relate to like that side that you see in crypto. I
And
personally,
it will be like super easy. Yes.
yeah, I totally can relate. I personally didn't come to crypto like for idealistic reasons. I'm completely the opposite of you. I came first in the legal hat. I mean, like, I worked traditionally with tech clients, and then many of those tech clients ended up building products in the blockchain sphere and launching tokens, etc. And so I came at it first from a legal perspective, and then only after I encountered it with my lawyer hat, I'm like, oh wow, some of these technologies are pretty cool. So I really came in at the other end, but I think in the end we met at the same place, and I'm now at the
Yeah.
point where I both very much enjoy the work that I do in this industry, and also just playing around, buying and selling tokens and NFTs, and the people in the industry, the other lawyers that I've encountered are just top notch. Really not arrogant people, just warm and eager to share their experiences and knowledge. And like I said, that's how I came to find you, and it's just a wonderful industry. This has been phenomenal. Thank you so much for speaking with me and for sharing with our listeners. I look forward to doing this again sometime. Thank you for listening to Beyond the Code. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, share with your friends, and to tune in again next week for more fun and insightful conversation.